Well, good morning, everyone. Another Friday edition of Wellness for Warriors. It is Friday, October 28th, and we're glad to be with you today. We have with us Truman Matters here today, our Hall of Famer, and Michelle's with us today live here in the room. I'm Hank Molinengo. I'm a volunteer with Wellness for Warriors, and it's good to be with you. So today's going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk a bit about what we've accomplished in the last year, and talk about the events that we have coming up. We have a number of events and a number of programs that are coming up. But let me begin with this. Do not forget 988. If you see someone in trouble, someone who might need to talk to a mental health professional, just all you have to do is dial 988. The way you dial 911 for a police officer or law enforcement or for medics to come. 988 is now a national suicide prevention hotline. So please, don't forget to pass the word on that and keep that up here in case you ever need it. So let's talk about the events we have in Wellness for Warriors this week. And how do we define warriors? Warrior is defined as anyone who supports, defends, assists, alleviates the suffering of anyone else without regard for their own personal comfort or safety and for the greater good. And we use it to include military veterans, police officers, firefighters, medics, EMTs, doctors, nurses, and also any individual who supports those people. We're talking police dispatcher, lab techs, and so on. I think you get the idea. The definition of warrior has greatly expanded over the years because, let's face it, things in the world have greatly changed. So we have a number of in-person meetings this week, as we do every week. So let's begin. On Wednesdays at 9 a.m. we have yoga at the Vet Center with Melissa. Also on Wednesdays at 3:15 we have guitar therapy with Dr. Tommy Good. That's at Drury University Congregational Hall at 3:15. On Thursdays at 6:30 in the evening at the YMCA on Republic Road, we have a peer group that's run by Marshall Bruner and Sarah Locarno. Then every Friday we're here, myself, Hank Molinengo, and my sidekick Mike Brown, who's busy out doing other stuff today, and at times we'll have our director, Carrie Miller, here to speak. And we'll have it's a peer support meeting, but also we talk about wellness concepts. And it is the Facebook Live meeting that we have every week. Then on select Saturdays, we're going to have a peer reinforcement decompression space. Basically, a place where people can get their troubles off their chest. And it's going to be at the F8 Training Center at 2048 South Stewart Avenue in Springfield. And it's run by Brian Mason, who is a chaplain here at Cox Hospital. And last but not least, in 2023, in several months, on select Fridays, we'll have a decompression space at the Cox-Barton County Hospital in the boardroom. And again, Brian Mason, the Cox chaplain, will be running that. Of course, you can always get a hold of us. If you go into Google and you type in Cox, Wellness for Warriors, our website comes right up. There's an email you can click on and you can shoot us a message. That email is monitored 24/7. Then there's also a couple of phone numbers that you can call. But the email is monitored 24/7. And I would encourage you that if you're feeling down and out, you don't wish to go in another route, please don't hesitate to email Wellness for Warriors. We'll get back with you. So let's talk about what we've done in the past year. And this is a little, year in review of what we're going to hold this morning. The average number of in-person and video engagements is 650. From October 21 until September of this year, we had 212 interventions. Now, how do we define interventions? It's when someone reaches out and needs immediate connection because of their situation. We had 2 interventions as far east as St. Louis. So our sphere, our area of influence is beginning to expand. We're collaborating with Cox Health's EAP program, Modern Health. Now, Modern Health is a new EAP provider. And a reminder about Modern Health. For Cox employees, they provide 5 free counseling sessions if you need it, if you desire it. You just go to HR, you dial the 1-800-269-6022 for your medical services, and you can tell them your needs, and they can hook you right up. Brian Mason and Carrie Miller, representing Cox, and speaking at the Caring for the Human Spirit Conference in St. Louis in April of 2023. Facebook Live had a total of 4,600 views from October 21 to September 2022. 4,600 views is a lot of views for a program of this nature. This is a program that is funded, of course, by Cox Hospital, supported by volunteers like myself and like Truman. And to have that greater reach is showing that there's a definite need for our organization, and we're making an impact. And now we have our own coffee line, and what can be cooler than that? It's available in the Cox Health Employee Volunteer Store, and soon it's going to be available anywhere. And it's made available, our supplier is Melancholy Roasting in Ava, Missouri. We were able to start our Fitness Center Scholarship Program. We've had 3 first responders and 1 veteran take part in this program. And that's where they get a scholarship to use the fitness center for a quarter and try to get themselves back in shape. Mike Brown and I were keynote speakers at the Be Well Conference for Nonprofits in Springfield a few months ago. And we were also part of the Behavioral Health Conference that was held this year at the Oasis Convention Center in August and September. We've taken part in a number of yellow ribbon pre- and post-deployment briefs for military folks, military vets, military units who've gone in and out of country. We just did a pre-deployment brief in August, in July and August, for a number of units that are deploying down to the border. And they're providing support like HVAC support, medical support, construction, being able to construct facilities for people who are coming into the country, and so on. And I know they were very grateful to be able to talk about some of the issues they thought they might be having down south. And we're also grateful that 100% of all the money that goes into our program goes back into the program. Very much appreciative of Cox Health Foundation and their support for the program, and very appreciative of United Health, who is a huge, huge sponsor and supporter of our program. We've took part in the opening of the new American Legion facility. We've been in a number of Cox Hospital events. Every time there's a recruit training class, we are there providing support. And virtually any group who requests our presence, we come. And we're grateful to all the volunteers who support us in that regard. I'd like to close today by talking about not falling prey to cultural impediments, lack of self-awareness, or the cost of getting help. You know, there was a culture in this country, I guess maybe a guy my age, I'm 66 years old, you see John Wayne movies, and John Wayne never cried, and John Wayne never complained when he was in trouble, or when the bad guys were coming at him. He just, strapped on the 6-shooter and he went after it, right? And that's the kind of culture that we've had in this country. And I'm glad to say that things have turned a bit, and that it is not a sign of weakness when you're feeling down and out. When you're a first responder, when you're a military veteran, when you're a supporter of those folks, do we look forward to the first crash victim of the day? If you're an ER doc, do you look forward to the first person who comes in who's really sick every day? No, you don't. You're normal people having experiencing abnormal events. So of course your response is going to be a bit abnormal. And at times it just gets to you. So the first thing is, you can't let what we may have been taught culturally as youths stand in the way of getting help. Because we need each and every one of you, every single warrior, to continue to pull on the rope and to help others. Then secondly, the lack of self-awareness. You have to know when you're holding on too tight, but how do you know? And that's the toughest thing for me to describe. These phones, they increase our hypervigilance. It's as if we feel we're never off duty. We can never have any white space, never have any time to ourselves. Because if we do, we're being selfish. We're not out there helping others. And my response is, be aware when you're holding on too tight. Be aware of the fact you're just a human being, and you need some white space. You need some time off. You need to get away from it once in a while, and don't be afraid to tell your leaders that. And then thirdly, there used to be pragmatic barriers, meaning cost. I'm not going to pay $200 an hour to talk to a professional. I only make $40,000 a year. I've got a family to feed. Understood. That's why take advantage of your employee benefits and take advantage of the services that we provide if you need help. You need to look out for yourself and look out for others. So This is a short one today. We've had our year in review. I'll be back with you next week. Remember, if you need us, our online presence, we have a Facebook page. You can contact us through Facebook. You can contact us through going to Google, Cox Wellness for Warriors, and you can contact us through calling the Cox switchboard, and they'll figure out a way to get through to us. And don't forget 988 if you're really feeling down and out. So that's all I have today. Truman, anything for the good of the order?
No.
Okay, great.
I'll talk about Gettysburg later,
That's fantastic. Gettysburg.
a few minutes.
That's fantastic. We'll hear about Gettysburg in a bit. So that's all I have today. Now, the mic's not here. I'm by myself today, so you're going to see some dead space. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to turn the machine off. Again, if you need us, you know how to contact us. Wellness for Warriors at coxhealth.com. Thank you for viewing, and we'll see you next Friday.